Loaded talk, loaded grok. We're talking about Jimmy Kimmel getting canceled. So, as everyone knows, people have been upset about people disparaging Charlie Kirk after his death. There have been lots of calls for censorship by the right. Gentlemen, he sends us to YouTube and TikTok and X and Meta. Thank you for your service you provide the Republic, and may God be with you, blah, blah, blah. Please be advised your platforms are rightfully expected to expeditiously remove all posts that have celebrated the political assassination of Charlie Kirk. Further, the authors of those posts are to be identified and banned from your platform, as well as any new pages they may create. Gleeful celebration of the heinous murder of American citizen brazenly published within the public forums of social media is not to be tolerated within the accepted and legal parameters of free and humane society. I've initiated a congressional effort to force accountability. If you shield these offenders, Section 230 will not protect your platform from vigorous exposure. Now, this is where the threat comes. I hold the gavel for the Federal Law Enforcement Subcommittee of the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, and my chair has specific congressional authority over federal regulatory law enforcement. My committee will be a leading force in the righteous endeavor to protect legitimate free exchange of ideas and opinions, which requires the vigilant maintenance of appropriate behaviors within our publicly accessed blah blah blah. The reasonable restriction of public statements that lie far beyond the standards of our own society is not an oppression of free speech. It is rather the protection of free speech. Isn't that good? It's good. It's protecting it. Having the will to guard the standards and integrity of the infrastructure that enables the expression of opinion in our public discourse is crucial responsibility we must embrace. I'm hopeful to receive your full cooperation. So he's a congressman. He's on a committee. That is powerful. And he goes, hey, man, pull down all these posts, report all the people, ban their pages in the name of protecting free speech because they're saying mean things. Okay. So then the other day, get my little headphones. We got Jimmy Kimmel. This is yesterday or day before yesterday. But so this was after they caught the killer. This is when people were really pushing that he was probably MAGA. He was probably not a lefty.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction.
All right, that's actually a good joke. But, all right. So Jimmy Kimmel does that on his show. And people are upset, in part because he says, the killer is a member of MAGA. It's one of you. You're in denial that it's one of you. Of course, it's not. What did I just do? Okay. It's not. And so what happens after that is, so of course there's ABC, right? ABC broadcasts through its affiliates. Affiliates are your local station that you watch. These are owned by some other person or company, right? So the largest owner of affiliates in our country is a company called, or ABC affiliates, is Nexstar. They own a bunch of them. They also help start News Nation, which is, I think, a right-wing cable news thing trying to like fill the gap of Fox when everybody was mad at Fox. I forget why they were mad at Fox. Something Trump-related, I think, but this is when all these other news things start popping up. So the founder of it's still the CEO of it, even though it's a publicly traded company. And I think he leans a little right based on the cable news network that they open. So Nexstar came out and they put out a message. They said, we're not showing Jimmy Kimmel anymore. We'll preempt the network, which just basically means we'll run tape of something else. We will do local news or whatever we feel like doing, but we won't be showing Jimmy Kimmel during that slot. And so a little bit goes by. ABC goes, we'll pull it. We're pulling Kimmel off. We're suspended until further notice. And people have now lost their minds. So the word on the streets is the ABC people were afraid that threats from the administration and the FCC that they were going to go after ABC, the network. There's probably threats there, but the thing about it is the FCC doesn't work that way. They don't license ABC or NBC or CBS. They license the local stations, And so, you can threaten all of their affiliates for showing that program. Okay. I think what it was is, so Stephen Colbert got canceled earlier, not canceled, but yeah, his show got canceled. Like I said, as of whatever, next year, that'll be the end of his show because it loses like $20-30 million a year. Between like 2023 and now, advertising revenues for late night shows have dropped by like 54%, which is a lot. And so Jimmy Kimmel's show has dropped down to the third place show. So they're third place in the ratings. They bring in estimates are somewhere around $75 million in ads per year. To make the show, his contract plus, the production of the show, everything except for the like the network fees. There's some licensing stuff you have to do on top of it, but it could be anywhere from $60 to $100 million per year. Now, if it's $75 million and dropping in revenue, and it's costing you $75 million, maybe it's closer to the $100 million to put it on, and you're losing money. You're losing over $1 million. Maybe you're losing $20 million. Maybe you're breaking even, but you can see the writing on the wall that the advertising is leaving. This might just be a good opportunity because he's only under contract till May of 2026. And so maybe you just go, let's call it a day. You pay out Jimmy Kimmel's entire contract, and that'll still be cheaper than putting on the show. Everyone's getting rid of late night anyway. He's third place. Who cares? So I think there's some opportunistic things in here. I think also if revenue is dropping and someone goes, I'm going to cut out a bunch of your affiliates, well, that's ad space. That's ad space that you can't sell anymore. So you're going to have even less revenue. So you really can't put it on. You can't put the show in the air until you smooth things over with Nexstar, basically. Like, it's simple business. I don't think it has to do with FCC. I think it is the power of your affiliates. But right now everyone's calling it this gross First Amendment suppression and all this kind of stuff. Chuck Schumer's like, this is they're attacking us. What's his face? Gavin Newsom's like, suppressing free speech, going after people with a different opinion. Like, this is an attack. This is an attack on all of us. To the degree that it is, which this was executed by a private individual who runs a public company. But to that degree, like, it's a page out of the Democrats' book. It's been a left-wing thing for a while. Media Matters is the whole point of Media Matters is to listen to shows that are right-wing and try to get all the sponsors to not sponsor the show anymore, to get them canceled, take everything they say out of context, put it on the internet, make them racist, make them all this stuff. Like, that's the only point of Media Matters. Been funded through, George Soros, probably NGOs. It's been a thing for a while. But one thing that's interesting, one thing that is a challenge with the FCC is this. So the broadcast by a station of false information concerning a crime or catastrophe violates the FCC's rules if the station licensee knew that the information was false. Broadcasting the false information directly causes substantial public harm. It was foreseeable that broadcasting false information would cause such harm. So that is FCC rules. Those are reasons that you can get into trouble through the FCC. It was false. Now, they recorded it during the day, perhaps. So maybe by the time they recorded, we didn't know, we didn't have the confirmation that this guy was a lefty, but everything pointed towards him being a lefty. The inscriptions on the bullets pointed towards it. It clearly had something to do with, something in the realm of LGBT, especially the T, based on the bulge comments and all this stuff on the bullet. So in that regard, ABC might not think they have a great leg to stand on, and Nexstar might also not feel like they have a great leg to stand on because it was a violation of FCC, or it's arguably a violation, and that, if you say Jimmy Kimmel or the network, by the time it aired, the network, ABC, and the production company knew that this information was no longer accurate, and they didn't cut the joke. They let it run. So in that regard, don't have a big leg to stand on, FCC. In the greater picture, this is what happens. This is the pushback. You start a cancel culture of attacking shows, that successful shows on Fox, successful people like a Rush Limbaugh. You go after all the sponsors, say you don't get to have a voice. No one gets to hear you because I say so. Well, you start at some point, it comes back for you, and this is that. This is it coming back. That's what it is.